18 years ago, our church did a community survey, and we asked people in our catchment area around the church what was the thing that worried them or frightened them most. And 98% of the answers came back money or debt. And following some prophetic words from God, talking about opening a debt advice centre, that's what we decided to do. So we gathered together, probably about 20 people, and from that came a team of 15, and we started up our debt advice centre, so our first client in the year 2000, and it was really exciting. The reason that I wanted to become involved was I have a brother who's 2 years older than me, and when he left school, he decided not to take up his place in university. He decided that he would rather go out and start earning money. And he went a little bit wild. Now, my father was scrupulous with money. We weren't poor, but neither did we have a lot of money. And we always knew as children that we couldn't always have everything that we wanted straight away, and we saved up threepenny bits, which shows my age. And so it was quite unusual that my brother turned right against that and went a bit wild and got an overdraft in his bank account. Wouldn't be allowed these days, but the bank manager in the small town where we lived played tennis with my dad and had a quiet word. And I remember the day when I came home from school and was told to go straight to my room, and my parents were waiting for my brother to come home from work, and I remember the shouting and the row because my brother got himself into debt. Now, fortunately, my parents were able to help him and bail him out of the debt that he was in. And I know for a fact that the following 6 months, as a family, we really had to tighten our belts. And some of the things that we enjoyed as little treats stopped for those 6 months because my parents had to bail my brother out. So I could see that debt was no respect of persons. You know, there we were, you know, the headmaster of the local village school, and my mother was a teacher in the local village school, respected members of the community, and yet one of our family had got themselves into debt. And that's why I wanted to help other people, because I know what it could do to a family. I absolutely love the work that I do. I've been doing it for 18 years now. Firstly on a part-time voluntary basis, and now as the paid centre manager of a church debt advice centre. And I love helping people. I absolutely love helping people. I love doing acts of kindness that will help people, just generally, not particularly with debt advice, but I love seeing the look on people's faces when something nice happens to them, especially if they've been going through a tough time. And so debt advice falls right into that, because people come to us who are absolutely desperate. Nobody's been nice to them for weeks, months, sometimes years. And often in the first few times of meeting them, just a simple thing like giving them a food bank voucher, and you know, giving them some free food that will help them out, just blows people's minds. And it's that simple act of kindness that shows people that we do care, and we want to make them part of our family so that they can benefit from the love that we have as a family for one another. Sometimes it's frustrating working with uncooperative creditors, but my team have nicknamed me the Rottweiler, and when I get the bit between my teeth and have a battle with a creditor, I just love it, because I want them to understand what the effect of debt is having on people's lives, and to get some kind of justice, not necessarily to get debt written off, not necessarily to make the debt go away, although that is sometimes appropriate, but just to give them a bit of a break, to give them a chance to get their lives straight. I would encourage anybody who has any heart for people to get involved in debt advice, whether it's actually being a full-blown debt advisor or helping out with doing administration, filing letters, sticking stamps on envelopes, or maybe helping a young mum go shopping and buy economically, or just going and having a coffee with a lonely person who has become isolated because of their debt. So if you have heart for people and you want to share that, then get involved in your local debt advice centre.